Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Colorful versus Liqs. This game taking place here on Tide Hunters. Let's take a look at the map now. Colorful spawning as the blue night elf on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Liqs spawning as the yellow undead on the top left. Let's go ahead and get to 4 times speed here. Crypt, Altar of Darkness. Pretty standard openings so far, just gathering your resources. This opening stage, as we see a Tomb of Relics now getting summoned in as well. It will be a Death Knight going up against a Demon Hunter. Classic heroes here on Tide Hunter, as the Demon Hunter is effective at trying to shut down those undead heroes. Undead heroes fall very quickly and well need mana generally. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter already on his way out across the map to the north, as the Death Knight tries to get a Death Coil off to shoo away that Wisp. That Wisp does not look like it wants to engage. A new Wisp, however, going to be coming across from the other side to get that detonation down. That detonation so important to remove any of that precious blight. We're going to see a Death Coil right there and the attack. No detonation in time. Ring of Protection +4 picked up by the Death Knight, as the Demon Hunter now activates Immolation to try and go after some of these units. However, are the creeps actually going to start to try and engage against the Demon Hunter, since he did deal some damage to those creeps? Alright, trying to finish off some more units here. Demon Hunter really racking up a lot of damage against all of these units, friend and foe alike, as the Demon Hunter gets to level 2. Immolation and evasion, at least for now, as we're looking at the Demon Hunter still getting a lot of mana usage, or a mana drained by that Demon Hunter here. Nearly out of gas, and will he be able to do any more here as the Death Knight pushes back that ghoul again? Alright, units continuing to engage. Demon Hunter trying to chase down that ghoul. Ghoul looks like it will be able to get back onto Blight, as the other friendly ghouls here try to get into harm's way. Alright, beautifully done. Low hit point ghoul able to return back home. Meanwhile, archers, having a similar problem, needing to run all the way back home as well. Demon Hunter down to 210 hit points, but should be able to escape as well. Alright, game already taking place here. Colorful has built a Tree of Life. He should be trying to set up an expo momentarily, and once that Tree of Life is done, he'll uproot it, make his way off to the north, and try and clear out that 3 o'clock spot. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter still going after, or putting pressure on the Death Knight here, but he doesn't have that much mana. Boots of Speed and Ring of Protection will be able to outrun many of the attacks, but the Death Coil does travel at a very fast rate. There's a Death Coil to ensure that the Demon Hunter has second thoughts about sticking around. Demon Hunter does have good hit point regeneration, already back up from, already at 50% more hit points out since that Death Coil, but still in danger of getting taken out. Demon Hunter quickly draining out all of those Moonwells. We are nearing midnight on the first day, so those Moonwells will still have some time to operate and get back to full. We are looking at Liqs setting up this expo. Already has enough acolytes here for that full saturation, and the tech to tier 2 has been started too. Now, the game has opened up pretty standard, and we're looking at long-term games. We're looking at Tree of Life setting up here at the expo. We're also looking at an slight economic advantage for the undead early on. Hero levels are comparable as well, and as we just need to wait for this Tree of Life to start making its way off to the north. The question is now, how can Colorful hold on to this expo and try and root and entangle this gold mine here? The Tree of Life itself, moves rather slowly, only 2 armor, and the Death Knight of Liqs trying to go after this Ogre Magi creep camp, Enraged Elementals. No Bloodlust as of yet. I'm a little bit curious by that, as we see a Death Coil save for that ghoul. Alright, Wand of Mana Stealing. We're going to see Wand of Mana Stealing used against the Demon Hunter, perhaps to try and get a little bit more mana for a Death Coil. Could do exactly that. There's, just denies it instead. There's a detonation against some skeletal minions, and both sides are going to be fighting once again. Wand of Mana Stealing, still a very good call here to use. There's Immolation. You can actually remove some of that precious mana to reduce the amount of damage that the Demon Hunter is dealing, and there is a Death Coil for that save, which I had expected earlier. All right, Panda now out onto the battlefield. Colorful with the Panda ready to try and blow over some of those additional units. There's another Death Coil finding the Archer, and that Wand of Mana Stealing definitely worth it there. Able to save a unit and also take down an Archer at the same time. Coming back home, Tech to Tier 2 obviously completed since we did train up that Panda. We are looking at dual Ancients of Lore. Death Knight still wandering around here, scouting out, figuring out what his opponent is up to, and is going to see this entangling gold mine here. The Death Knight could try and get a little bit of attacks, but he's really not going to get it to shut down. And with that, well, he's just going to end up taking additional damage on that Death Knight. Better to retreat and, well, get your feet back underneath you and figure out what the follow-up play will be. Halls of the Dead, well, at Tier 2, but the Altar of Darkness was unsummoned to get that Expo up and earlier, as we now see dual crypts for Gargoyles. Tech to Tier 3 also underway as well. Death Knight still wandering around here just shy of level 3 experience away, and well, he's just causing his opponent to drain out all of these Moonwells. Ancient of War absorbing a little bit of that damage here, as we're going to look at Archers take to the skies. Gargoyles looking to put in pressure as well, but the Death Knight really just needs to find a way to get to level 3. Once he's at level 3, he'll have a bit more survivability. Mana efficiency on your Death Coil becomes that much better, that much more effective. And, well, now the Panda with Breath of Fire looking to blow over some of these Gargoyles. But that, well, Panda is only sitting at level 1, 2. You caught a Crotacast. All right, good to see everyone. Glad you are here. Oh, ghouls. Well, when you attack the forest comes alive. Apparently it happens in the jungle as well. Ghouls need to be pulling back here. That is a good amount of Gargoyles for a bunch of harassment. Meanwhile, Forest Troll Berserkers and Forest Troll Trappers back across here. Death Knight still trying to figure out a way to get to level 3. Is he going to be able to do it? No, unable to get to level 3. There's the detonation. Gargoyle able to head back home. And this Death Knight, well, still trying to run around here, as the Naga Sea Witch perhaps going to join up with that Death Knight to get some easy experience. Large amount of lumber sitting on already 500 here, and could bring a couple of ghouls over to try and do a bit of that creeping. The Gargoyles are also just looking for a way to put or just pick off a unit. They do have strong numbers, but the Dryads and the Archers and the Panda down south can also do a number as well. Are we going to be looking at some repairs? Dryads are right here trying to go after a Wisp. There goes one Wisp there. Death Knight does get up to level 3. Death Knight Lich still wandering around here. Death Knight is going to be able to find and deal some damage against some of these units. Demon Hunter still sitting at level 2, as we see the Goblin Shredder absorbing, well, quite the volleys here. Dryads are getting in some big pokes. There's a Frost Nova going down, and there goes the Goblin Shredder. Demon Hunter does get to level 3 during this time. We're looking at the Lich trying to head back, get away. Are we going to see the Demon Hunter be able to catch up? He does have Boots of Speed. Death Knight not able to help as much, as the Demon Hunter is outpacing. Remember, Unholy Aura does not give the same amount of movement speed as it used to, but the Demon Hunter actually losing sight of the Lich temporarily a couple of times because it was walking up and down those ramps. He must have tried to auto attack that, or attack directly on that Lich, trying to get that, well, get that little bit of extra damage. But as soon as he lost sight of the Lich, he stopped running for a second, and that lead just grew and grew. All right, back off to the north here. Panda looking to get to level 3 as well. As chat says, level 2 Breath of Fire will really clear out the skies, or start having that damage add up from that Breath of Fire across all of those units. Gargoyles, however, have taken some serious damage here, and without an Obsidian statue to provide some healing, those Gargoyles are not going to be long for this world. All right, stone form works. All right, stone form here. Demon Hunter trying to come around. There's a Frost Nova down, and we're going to look at some damage here. Is the stone form Gargoyle. Is he going to try and uproot himself could go on to Blight to get even more natural healing. Instead, just fighting away. Alright, it looks as though the Brewmaster is inching its way closer to level 3. Level 2 Breath of Fire, just a 3 experience shy again. Well, long road for the Death Knight. I guess it should be a much shorter road for the Panda to be able to get to level 3. Demon Hunter already at level 3. He's already retrained to Mana Burn and Evasion as we originally thought. Breath of Fire, perhaps going to try and blow things over here. Giant Sea Turtle going after some of these units. And then this is a Ghouls and Gargoyles strategy. Very strong at hit and runs. Ghoul Frenzy, very fast movement speed, very fast attack speed, ready to go. Alright. Coming on through, Gargoyles ready to put in the pressure. Demon Hunter now looking to try and retreat back. Do we have Tree of Eternity? We do. Do we have an Orb of Venom yet? No, we do not. Brewmaster has some potions of mana. There's an Orb of Venom. There's a Breath of Fire. There's some damage already racking up. Those Stone Form Gargoyles losing that AoE, that damage over time there as the Gargoyles are trying to put in pressure. The Ghouls are still, the Ghouls are still trying to swarm here. There's another Breath of Fire coming across those, all of those, Ghouls on the ground could actually suffer quite a bit of damage, but the Gargoyles are the ones with some serious firepower. Meanwhile, Brewmaster trying to get a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire off. Against the Drunken Haze off, is he going to try and get the Breath of Fire? He does get a Breath of Fire, but there's a scroll, or the Scroll of Healing used there to try and counteract as well. Dryads could get cleaned up. Orb of Corruption on that Lich, that -5 armor. There's another Breath of Fire, but it doesn't really feel like the Gargoyles are falling out of the sky. Breath of Fire perhaps a little bit difficult to hit with, as we are now looking at, well, Dreadlord as the third and final hero. Alright, was not expecting a Dreadlord, not quite sure what I was expecting, but Dreadlord with Sleep was definitely not what I had planned for that third hero, as a couple of Dryads getting poked down here. Meanwhile, well, the Panda has some breath to try and give here. There's a Potion of Invulnerability being used, and, well, there's a Sleep on the Brewmaster. Brewmaster falling asleep right there. There's a Breath of Fire going through. Brewmaster suddenly needing to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away, and now the Demon Hunter is going to go ahead and teleport back to Obsidian Statues. Have shown up to the party. There's that one Dryad up completely out of position, going to get cleaned up there. The Demon Hunter trying to engage. Brewmaster try to get a Breath of Fire off. Does finally add a little bit more, but that one Obsidian Statue is still there. There's a Mana Burn onto the Death Knight, as Dryads are going to get cleaned up. Panda tries to go a Breath of Fire across some of the Ghouls there. Dryads are trying to go up against the Gargoyles. Panda needs perhaps an Orb of Venom to be able to fight back himself, as the trees are coming alive to engage and fight back too. Demon Hunter down to 225 hit points, even fighting amongst all these Moonwells. Doesn't matter if your Moonwells are bone dry, and that's what we have there as the Dreadlord gets to level 2, and now adds in Vampiric Aura. Alright, so Vampiric Aura coming into play. Those Ghouls will be able to heal up quite a bit when engaging, and it also, well, gives a lot of regeneration to the Gargoyles if they actually see either fairy dragons or hippogriffs. Good day. This is a hard matchup for Elf, and I hate Elf. Yeah. Ghouls, Gargoyles, always a definite problem here. We're looking at the Death Knight. He does have level 2 Unholy Aura, does offer a bit of regeneration for health for those Obsidian Statues, but these Obsidian Statues are the ones that are keeping this undead army together. Lich is at level 3, Dreadlord is sitting at level 2. You are looking at a third Obsidian Statue joining in on the battle. And, well, both sides are just finally doing a bit of creeping now, 15 minutes into this game. Maybe heroes can fix it for elves. Well, we'll have to see. Panda has to maybe get to level 5 for that level 3 Breath of Fire. And so far, the healing, the scroll healing of the undead army and the well, heal over time of these Obsidian Statues are making it so that damage isn't really sticking to the Gargoyles for them to get blown out easily. We haven't seen anything in the battle really tip in anyone's particular favor yet, as both sides are just still clearing out creep camps. All right, Gargantuan Sea Turtle going to be easily cleared up here. Got to be careful. That one Gargoyle could get taken down to 75 hit points. It backs away. Death Knight still wants to recharge some of his mana too. Precious mana on those heroes. Dreadlord now gets up to level 3, has access to level 2 sleep. Meanwhile, the Panda off to the north here, about to get to level 4. Demon Hunter going to take down that Granite Golem, and we are looking at Unholy Aura on the Brewmaster as well. Alright, coming back through, another Gargantuan Sea Turtle taken down. We have a Health Stone and a Wand of Mana Stealing onto that Death Knight. Death Knight should have plenty of opportunities to, well, use that Death Coil effectively, taking away mana from that Demon Hunter or perhaps even mana from the Brewmaster. Colorful has also transitioned into Druids of the Claw. 1 or 2 Druids, 3 Druids of the Claw here, trying to get up a little bit more mana perhaps before they go into that Druid form. Alright. The heroes are getting ready to engage against each other. We're looking at 3-1 upgrades by the Undead against 1-1 upgrades by the Night Elf. So definite upgrades in favor of the Undead here. Colorful actually sitting in high upkeep right now. That's not a place he really wants to be in, but he is still looking to train up more and more Dryads, getting up to 88 over 90 supply here, and now going for those Ancients of Wind. Vampiric Aura level 2 may become a very big deal indeed. Death Coil Frost Nova straight up onto that Demon Hunter. Dryads trying to make their way over. There's a Drunken Haze, there's a Breath of Fire, and the, well, Gargoyles completely just shake off all of that damage there as we see the Panda falling asleep at the helm. All right, both sides still fighting their way through. Demon Hunter in a lot of trouble. A lot of focus fire onto that Demon Hunter who gets stabbed to preservation back home behind these Moonwells. And while the Gargoyles didn't want to continue to poke, Dryads are fighting their way through. Gargoyles can easily eat through Dryads as well as the Lich uses the Potion of Invulnerability in time. We're trying to see some Gargoyles fall. 69 supply compared to 79. Dryads and Gargoyles are falling. Brewmaster going to come back over, perhaps get another Breath of Fire. There goes another Breath of Fire across the units as the Demon Hunter comes in to engage and, well, comes across with the Mana Burn. All right, Demon Hunter trying to retreat back there. Quite a bit of damage racking up. Dryads continuing to poke about the other side. Meanwhile, Brewmaster gets a Breath of Fire off onto an Obsidian statue, taking that down. 62 supply compared to 60. Both sides suffering heavy casualties as the Brewmaster forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal to, well, just try and regroup again. Will he perhaps get some mana, get a little bit of Breath of Fire going on those last remaining Gargoyles? Meanwhile, Demon Hunter, staying at level 4, wants to get to level 5 for that level 3 Mana Burn and perhaps picking off some of those units once more. All right, one Ancient Protector, enough to at least break the chase here as both sides are fighting through. Panda comes back across. We're going to see a Breath of Fire across these units. There is a, well, Frost Nova. Brewmaster is in some serious trouble. There is a Sleep. There's a Mana Burn to stop the Frost Nova, but the Brewmaster gets stabbed to preservation back home. Demon Hunter forced to fight by himself now. Does he have enough gas in the tank? He's down to 171 hit points. There's another Frost Nova. Doesn't have enough mana to completely shut down that Lich and all that Frost Nova there. And a Demon Hunter falls at level 4. All right, 5-4-4 going up against 4-5. The Dryads are going to get cleaned up here, and Undead is in absolute control of this match. Dryads, however, very good at poking apart all of these destroyers. Are we going to see that destroyer get taken down? No, able to fly up onto the high ground. And, well, yeah, if you don't like Undead and you don't like Night Elf, that might have been a good fight for you. Plenty of units for you to look at and just see them constantly getting shot down and taken out. Colorful sitting at 50 over 90, mining off of 2 bases. Only 2 minutes of mining on the main base left, and, well, 3 minutes of mining for Undead on the main base. However, the Expo about 4 minutes mining compared to 6. A little bit of a advantage there by Colorful, as we may end up seeing these other gold mines here finally taken. these two gold mines are relatively close to each other, but they're the next logical choice when trying to, well, set up a next base. Difficult to defend as your opponent could be so close and nearby, and we'll see what will be happening here. Dryads getting ready to move on through with now 1-2 upgrades. Hunter's Hall, I don't believe, nope, now getting for 2-2 upgrades, trying to make up in that in those upgrade wars. Lich sitting at 5, Dreadlord sitting at 4, level 2 Vampiric Aura, level 3 Sleep to try and temporarily knock out a hero and neutralize him. Demon Hunter getting resurrected, and Demon Hunter just needs a little bit more experience to get to level 5. Is he going to try and clear out this enraged elemental creep camp to get to level 5 and perhaps open things up with level 3 mana burn? The Demon Hunter, well, does, even with these rune bracers, has really been suffering a lot more damage than I would have thought. We're also looking, well, Orb of Venom is on the Demon Hunter. Brewmaster perhaps doesn't get that many opportunities to try and attack, since he's constantly getting slept. Real danger from that Breath of Fire. Yeah, the rune bracers definitely did help, but also look at his hit points at only 750. The rune bracers helped, but it wasn't enough to keep him from getting taken out. He still needs some survivability items, such as that potion of healing. Boots of speed are great for chasing down units, but if you're not chasing down a unit, it is just taking up an item slot. When, well, you would rather have, say, an additional 150 hit points in a pair of vitality or a belt of giant strength. All right, 5-5-4 going up against a level 4 Demon Hunter and a level 5 Panda. It looks like Colorful is just massing up his army and waiting to see how he's going to follow through here. Tree of Eternity does have Nature's Blessing. And what is this? Is the Dreadlord going to be the one to gain experience? Yes, he is. The Dreadlord comes over to gain the experience here, finish off all of these units. I don't believe he'll get to level 5, but any experience at this time is just beneficial, as you're just finding a way to get an advantage some way, somehow. Walking mana health fountains, yep. They're called fountains of power. Mobile fountains of power, right? Alright. You are the weakest link, Acolytes. Goodbye. Getting cleaned up onto the battlefield there. Colorful finally break. Nope, looks like he's like dancing in between high upkeep and not. Colorful just trying to get every last bit of gold out of these gold mines before he... What is this Tree of Eternity doing? It like ate a tree for no real reason. I thought for a second he was going to try and hide, but trying to hide when your opponent has so many air units is just generally not recommended. There goes another Acolyte again. That standing army is just getting larger and larger as we're looking at, well, the Gargoyles trying to finish off some more units here. Well, yeah, I know humans have brilliance aura, and you know that's one of their saving things. They also have Blood Mage with Siphon Mana. I totally get it. All right. Apparently, gargoyles are also not fond of ghouls, so the ghouls themselves are. All right, that one ghoul standing amongst two other ghouls. The gargoyles kill one of the ghouls. He's like, okay, kills another one of the ghouls. Maybe I should go home and work. Maybe I don't want to be here. Smart man, ghoul, smart man. All right. coming through. Dreadlord, Lich, Death Knight. Ready to stay together here. Acolyte, I believe, is on auto repair duty for these obsidian statues. Just needs to repair them, keep them strong, and make sure that they are not, if they are focused down, they do not end up getting taken down too quickly. All right, more acolytes also falling here. We're looking at 74 supply army going up against 62. We've seen undead players purposely unsummon buildings in order. Well, that's what happened here. Unsummoned buildings to get a little bit more gold and get max out that army. Meanwhile, Colorful, well, is he going to be moving with all of his ancients? That may actually be what he's doing. All right, so if you like all-ins, this might be a true Night Elf versus Undead all-in. Undead, unsummoning buildings to get more items. Yep, there we are. Necropolis, Ziggurats, and a Nerubian Tower getting unsummoned now that he's already at that 80/80 supply. Meanwhile, the forest comes alive in the jungle here. Ancients of Wind, Tree of Life, Ancients of Lore. Where did the Ancients of Lore go? Oh, the Ancients of Lore tried to move over here, and then, wow, that was not me. I did not zoom in like that. All right, let's get ready to rumble. There is a destroyer out there ready to devour magic across all of those hippogriffs. Gargoyles are going to be ready to engage, but remember, Vampiric Aura is going to be a big deal. Level 2 Vampiric Aura, I believe it's a very high, a high healing rate at level 2. I think somewhere in the 30%. I remember when they rebalanced it, I'm like, yeah, that seems a bit high, but well, it doesn't really matter for knights on the or footmen on the ground. But look at these gargoyles that deal 64 to 100 damage each. They may be able to really come out ahead here, especially if, well, the hippogriffs. Well, with Roar, are they going to be able to fight back here? Here we are. Here we go. There's the engagement. Scroll of Protection. Demon Hunter falls at level 4 straight out of the gate. Not very useful at all as both sides are fighting. Scroll of Healing is also being used as the hippogriffs are trying to poke apart the gargoyles. Who wins out in this battle as the Brewmaster falls asleep temporarily? There's a Breath of Fire trying to blow over some units. 53 supply compared to 66 as the Brewmaster once again falls asleep. The forest is coming alive, trying to engage her. Colorful at 60 supply compared to 47. Well, trying to save some of those units again as Ancient Protector is just a little bit too far from the battle and unable to engage here off to the side. Ancient of Wonders also continuing to fight. Who has control here? 30 supply army compared to 35. There goes an Obsidian statue. Brewmaster constantly falling asleep as we see the Ancient Protector finally within range now. This Ancient of Lore should actually uproot here and then try and fight back the other way. Meanwhile, we're looking at Dryads getting cleaned up. This Ancient of War going to get taken down pretty quickly as the Brewmaster goes into Earthstorm and Fire and is now trying to, well, clean things up here. Tree of Life now making its way over. Cyclone picking up that Death Knight temporarily. Dryads continuing to poke. It looks as though the Obsidian statues may end up falling as both sides are still fighting their way through here. All right, more damage slowly getting racked up. Dryads doing a little bit of a dance back and forth. Storm could easily go into Windwalk and, yes, able to hide just a little bit before engaging again. All right. Storm needs to, well, fall back here. Storm ends up falling down. We still have a Fire. Where is Earth? Well, there is still Fire. Fire and Earth is right there. They're still engaging against each other, trying to get some damage. There's Earth left. Earth is down to 1,500 hit points. He is going to go ahead and try and retreat back. Dryad, well, trying to dance amongst all of these units, and looks like he will end up getting taken out by the Lich. All right. Tree of Life trying to entangle this gold mine here. Dryads want to challenge. Meanwhile, Ancient of Wonder is about to fall. Panda getting ready to come back over. 36 supply compared to 31. There is only one Acolyte left, and that Acolyte is simply retreating back now. The Tree of Life trying to entangle this gold mine. It does not look good for him at all as the Brewmaster now making its way over. All right, Altar of Elders, nothing there. Wisp now slowly making their way over. Are we going to see some detonations? There's a lot of damage here. Panda trying to go after that Death Knight in the very far back. Death Knight, Panda, both sides battling it up. Death Coil there. Brewmaster, is he going to be able to Breath of Fire? Yes, gets up to level 7, now down to 179. And the Tree of Eternity is still engaging. The Brewmaster down to 31 hit points. Brewmaster falls, and now it's a double level up for the Lich and the Dreadlord. All right, Wisp surround. A Wisp surround onto a Lich. The Lich is temporarily invulnerable, but he still needs to break out of this paper bag of a surround here. How much damage is getting racked up as the Druid of the Claw gets taken out here? Ancient of Wonder still fighting. Wisp gonna try and surround the Lich again, and the Lich is gonna end up getting taken down because of the Lich surround here. Well, that Dryad trying to prance away and is able to do exactly that. Lich falls at level 6, and now what is going down here? The Dryads going after the Destroyers. The Destroyer going to get taken out as we see the Tree of Eternity now making its way over. All right, still anyone's game. 9 supply army compared to 10. We're looking at the Dryads trying to engage here, and well, the Dryad trying to get away, and it looks like it will be able to do exactly that. Slow poison doing its thing, not allowing the Dreadlord to easily catch up to these targets. Meanwhile, there's still plenty of Moonwell juice here and plenty of Moonwell juice back at the expo, as the Destroyer can pretty much be ignored. We're looking at entangling of the gold mine as the Dreadlord is now in a little bit of trouble. The Dryads are really playing around, saying just chase me to the Dreadlord, and really dividing and making it difficult for the Dreadlord to actually find a target. All right, we're looking at that Destroyer down to 158 hit points. 3 Dryads being microed. And, well, you can see whichever one that Dreadlord goes after ends up getting backed away. And, well, it's constantly getting love tapped now as the Dryad says, you know what, I can dance right in front of you, and there's not much you can do. Slow poison constantly there. Dryad gonna get it in front again as the Dreadlord is still, calls down an Infernal, but the Infernal can't really do much, doesn't get the stun off, and the Dreadlord down to 39 hit points. It looks like he's just going to get taken out. He's trying to use Vampiric Aura to perhaps stay alive, and he does stay alive a little bit longer because of that Vampiric Aura hit. Dreadlord finally falls, and no one has a hero. Infernal going to walk around here. Goldmine is now fully saturated once more, and I believe this game goes to colorful with 3 Dryads, and that is it. The Destroyer cannot do anything. Well, oh, nope. I forgot, Infernal does do chaos damage, so chaos damage against that gold mine is, well, rather effective. You can see, are we perhaps going to see some repairs? That is the question here. There's a repair right now trying to keep this alive, and the Infernal trying to make its way over. There is going to be some repairs. Are they going to go ahead and jump inside? They are. Wisp are jumping in and out there. Ancient of Wonders, both sides are just trying to heal. Dryads should be going after the Destroyer, making sure that the Infernal is unable to, make sure that the Destroyer is unable to Wisps. All right, now playing a game of whack-a-mole inside here. More Wisp could get trained up. You can see Wisp trying to jump in and out here. Are we going to see some repairs? Yes, we are. And the Infernal is still having a difficult time. As you can see, the Ancients are fighting here. All right, more fighting. Wisp jumping back inside. And the micro of Colorful in this situation. Absolutely crazy. That is going to be the game. Colorful with the win and the lower score. Wisp unable, I don't know, perhaps Liqs thought that he was in a great spot after taking down all the enemy heroes. Perhaps he thought Colorful would throw in the towel, give up a little bit, and he just let off the gas a bit too much. Letting off the gas, Colorful with an army of Dryads able to get the job done. An army of Dryads and Ancients, well, able to restabilize. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments below.